Hi guys, happy Thursday. Do you remember the first week of remote learning when I blow dried my hair for Zoom recorded lessons? Sorry. It's been so nice lately. I've been trying to spend as much time as possible outside. Rowdy is scared of thunder. Jocelyn, I feel like you need to know this information. Also, Danica, you said you loved corgis. He's scared of thunder and tried to hide my pants, and it was really cute / sad. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the research project, which I'm going to be real honest with you, is in its baby stages in my mind. But that's okay. I'm going to pause this for just 1 second. Okay. So I'm okay with that, though. I really am okay with it because I want to hopefully, and I know that times are strange and that where your brain goes and what your brain is interested in it's maybe not the Civil War. I do understand that. And I actually have a great deal of empathy for that. So what I'm about to say, you might be like, yeah, Miss Ryan, I don't have any curiosity about the Civil War. Okay, so fair enough. Well played, touche, I get it. But that said, what I really want to start with is I want to come from a place of really truly what I think research should be and what it is in my life, which is just I get really interested in something and then I read a bunch about it to learn about it. That's where I want to start. And this is for writing, so we will be writing eventually. Although I'm thinking it will not be in the form of a traditional paper, but there will be some writing and teaching of writing. But for now, where I want to begin is I want to begin from a place of what are you curious about? And I know very much that you guys are very curious people because I've spent a lot of time with you and we've been together when we've sort of gotten off on tangents of questions and things we want to know about and things we're interested in. So with that said, where all this lesson is about, which this is really barely even a lesson because I'm expecting your brains to sort of fill in from here, is I want you to start to think about, sorry, I'm sharing my screen. You know that always takes me a second. That's not what I want. This is what I want. About what you would like to learn more about with the Civil War. My child is crying. We'll see how bad it is. He seems okay. So I have here an organizer that I've created with some topics that I know may be interesting to me and that might be interesting to you guys from what I know about you. So we have battles, generals, or just any, there's Robert E. Lee and Grant. They're very interesting characters in history who you may be interested in. We have untold stories. So this could really be anything. So I'm really drawn to the story of the girl who the horse was almost stolen from, and the mother who's left behind when her son is going off to be at battle. All the stories that are not the I guess basically the dead white guy stories, but the stories of everyone else in the Civil War. And I think there's a lot of information out there in primary sources and, even just your imagination. Although this is a research project, so it can't just be your imagination, of what it was like for the people who aren't in the history books. So that might be a direction you want to go in. If you're interested in the differences between the North and the South during this time period, that might be a topic. That might be something that I'm more interested in. I don't know how many people will pick that one. Definitely lots of slaves fought in the Civil War. So if you're particularly interested in slavery, then this might be a category that you would want to go to. And then I have other and really delete one of mine and make your own is fine too. If there's other that you want to go for. So what are you going to do for today? This is going to, well, it's due on Sunday. What you have to do with it today and tomorrow is due on Sunday. But really it's for next week for us to begin the idea of actually researching. And I'm going to show you some research techniques, but what everybody does before they begin to research whether you're a scientist or whether you are deciding who you're going to vote for, or if you are forming your opinion on how states are handling the coronavirus pandemic, or whatever it is you're doing, is you ask questions. So that's the first step, is to ask questions. So I want you to pick 4 of these categories that you ask questions about. What, and at this point, I'm assuming you know nothing. Like, you don't know anything about the Civil War. You know, it was a war between the North and the South that happened a long time ago. You know, you might even be like, your first question might be like, when exactly did the Civil War take place? Like, where exactly was it fought? And that might even be your first question for any of the categories, since it's about the time of the Civil War. And I just want you to come up with questions that you have that you would want to know the answer to, that you're hopefully, now this is the part where, like, I get it. If you are like, yeah, Miss Ryan, my brain is just not there. I'm not really thinking about the Civil War right now. Then this next part where I say, hopefully that you are genuinely interested in, you might be like, yeah, not. But that's what school's all about, is doing things that you may not be interested in anyway. Not always, but sometimes. So I would like you to pick 4, ask 3 questions for each of those categories. And try and be as specific as possible and as interested as possible. You know, just sticking with the who, what, when, where, why maybe isn't going to garner you a lot of interest. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, what would be kind of a boring, like, what was the differences between the North and the South? Where were the differences between the North and the South? Why were there differences between the North and the South? Okay, you've fulfilled the obligations of the assignment, but I don't know that that's like a super interesting, like, series of questions. Things like, you know, why were they economically successful without slavery? And, you know, how interdependent was slavery into the lifestyle of the South? Those are much more specific questions. So obviously I have a teacher mindset, not a kid mindset. So you are going to ask different kinds of questions, but be as specific as you can, and truly try to, like, pique your curiosity. And that's why, if this takes, I mean, it's not due till Sunday, so you're getting this lesson on Wednesday. Actually, probably going to post it tonight on Tuesday. So you have lots of time to think about it. Tomorrow we're going to talk about sources. So by Sunday, you'll have questions here and sources here for 4 of these categories. Just like kind of popping into the internet and seeing what you can find. To really just be interested. That's really where I want us to come from, is a place of, like, what is it that you're interested about? Weaponry of the Civil War. Like, if you're super into weapons and guns and that, you know, tactics, army tactics of the Civil War. I'm thinking, like, I know, Anthony, you're always making maps. So, like, if it's like battle progress of the Civil War armies, I don't know, I'm not into maps, so that would not interest me. But you can do whatever. So these are ideas, but you could delete 2 of these, put yours in for the other, and come up with 4 completely different categories of what you might be interested in. And we'll go from there. So hopefully this is fun. Hopefully it's exciting. You have whatever, really, truly, whatever you want to put in there, I encourage you to put in there. All right, thank you, and I will talk to you soon. I'm going to stop this, and then I'm going to go.